A mother in California is now under arrest, suspected of stabbing to death her 3 children. The victims from toddler to brand new 2-month-old. All this happened yesterday at the family's home near the city of Torrance outside Los Angeles. Investigators say the victim's grandmother apparently discovered what had happened and called the detectives. And inside the house, they found the girls in a pool of blood on a bed with their mother. They say that the mother was naked and holding a knife. One neighbor reportedly said the suspect also tried to slit her own wrists and that the mother had blood all over her face and arms, presumably her children's blood. According to that neighbor, the grandmother claims the daughter had called earlier in the day to say that she was going crazy. The neighbor also says that the girl's father was across the street when the grandmother got there, and that as workers were bringing out the children's bodies, he was crying and saying, "She killed my daughters." Let's bring in a lawyer now. Anna Yum is a defense attorney and former prosecutor. Well, it's hard to imagine anything much worse than this, Anna.
That's right, Shep. When I first heard about this case, I just couldn't imagine what this poor family is going through. I mean, either, if these facts are true, either this woman is the most depraved, evil person in the world, or on the flip side, you could argue that if the facts are there, she could possibly be suffering from some sort of mental illness. And if that's the case, Shep, I anticipate that that's likely what her defense is going to assert.
Yeah, that's about all you have here if you're defense. But this is a very high hurdle, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is. Here in the state of California, Shep, we follow what's called the McNaughton rule. And in order to prevail on that defense, you essentially have to show that the defendant was so mentally ill at the time of the killing that he or she didn't know the difference between right or wrong, or that he or she didn't understand the nature of your conduct. And typically when you think about criminal cases, you think the prosecutor has the burden to prove that someone's guilty. Well, in not guilty by reason of insanity cases, it's actually the other way around. The defense has the burden to prove by preponderance of the evidence that their client was legally insane at the time of the killing. And it's a very difficult hurdle. In fact, nationally speaking, this defense is only used 1% of the time.
And Anna, one thing that we don't know much about this woman at all, and we don't know if she has a history of mental illness.
That's right, and that's something that's really going to be crucial in her case, because what's crucial in these types of cases, Shep, is the history of mental illness. If she doesn't have any kind of mental illness, then you could imagine as a juror would be scratching his head thinking, wait, she doesn't have a history of mental illness, but now she's claiming that she was mentally insane. So I think that that's going to be a big issue for the defense to look into and to see if she really did suffer from any kind of homicidal or suicidal ideations or delusions in the past.
Anna Yum, a former prosecutor herself. Anna, nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you, Shep. Thank you.